The Archie Comics panel from Special Edition NYC, a look at the upcoming San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, and your new releases of the week. This is Welcome to Riverdale. Hey folks, my name is Jonathan. Welcome to lovely Riverdale, USA. Archie Comics has announced their San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. These include 2 variants for Archie #1 by Fiona Staples, and this sketch cover of Mega Man #50 by Patrick Spaziante. All 3 will be available at San Diego Comic-Con, July 7th through the 12th. This week, our Special Edition NYC coverage continues with the first part of the Archie Comics panel.
More than that. Welcome to the Archie Comics Special Edition. I'm Alex Jughead, the SVP of Publicity and Marketing, and I'm here with the all-star crew of Archie Comics, our CEO and publisher, Mr. John Goldwater. The writer and artist behind Kevin Keller and the artist and co-writer of Archie vs. Sharknado, which is a real thing, Dan Parent. El Presidente himself, Mike Pellerito. And the artist of a little book, Archie vs. Predator, which is also really happening, Fernando Ruiz. So before we kick off, I want to ask everyone, who's excited about Archie #1? So this is a book that's written by Mark Waid, featuring art by Fiona Staples, who some of you probably know, and for the first time ever, it's telling the origin story of Archie and his friends. John, this is like a lot of the things the company does, a very daring and progressive thing. Can you talk us through why this is the moment for Archie 1?
Well, first of all, thank you all for being here. Very much appreciated. You Archie fans, thank you. It just felt like the right time for Archie #1. I can't say anything more than that. We've been doing so many new initiatives, from the Life with Archie series to the Kevin Keller to the Death of Archie. I mean, we've just been tackling so much new ground. It's been a real remarkable ride. And ending it with issue 666 just seemed like appropriate and fun and a really great stepping off point. And really, we wanted to go back to the roots of what Archie was when Archie first came out, now almost 75 years ago, which was fun, funny, slapstick, physical humor, just really harken back to the roots. And we're so proud that we were able to get this amazing creative team of Mark Waid and Fiona Staples. Couldn't get better creators than that on this book. So it's a really bold, it's fun, and it's coming July 8th. So guys, look out for the book. It's going to be amazing. I've read it, of course. I've seen some of Fiona's art, and it's remarkable, truly remarkable. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Now, Mike, you've been working closely with Mark and Fiona. Just can you talk a little bit about how the stories come together, what people can expect?
I don't think we're allowed to talk about any of that publicly. You know that.
A little bit. You can tease a little bit. You have clearance.
A lot of things are going to be perfect in the way they should be. A lot of things are going to blow you away and be completely new and different and exciting. How Archie gets along with his friends, who he is to his friends. Some interesting backstories you might never have thought about before. And the first issue starts off that puts Archie in a little bit of hot water, and it's called the Lipstick Incident. That's all I can tell you. Remember that.
It's good. That was a good tease.
Thank you.
Now, Mark and Fiona are obviously huge names in comics, but they're both really big Archie fans, and I think we all got a sense of that when we first spoke to Mark. And Mike, you've spoken to Fiona, and John, you've spoken to both of them. How great is that to have someone who's not only super talented, but also a huge fan of the properties?
Well, I mean, I think that's everything. If they're not fans, they won't understand where we're going or what we want to do. And they're both such incredible fans. They love the characters. and they both embraced it wholeheartedly. And we're honored to have them, and they're thrilled to be part of it. So it just all clicked. It all worked out. The timing was fantastic that they were both interested and available to do it. So yeah, they're both big fans, and that's the most important thing to me. They get it. They understand what we want to do.
Well, beyond Archie #1, we're also launching another new series, Jughead #1. Written by Chip Zdarsky with art by the very talented Eric Henderson. And as some of you have read, this is an expansion of the universe of Archie 1. Chip is probably the perfect person to write Jughead because in many ways he is Jughead. And Mike, you're the one that kind of coined that phrase, which I so quickly stole, but...
No, that was his phrase.
Yeah, okay.
He grew up and he used to go to White Castles to get the mini burgers and pile them up to pretend he was Jughead. If ever there was someone who was supposed to write Jughead, it was this guy. Chip is perfect. Any artist and writer could take a job and just turn out a brilliant story, but with Mark and Fiona and Chip and Erica, these are people who love what they're doing. They know it as well as everybody in this audience here, and that is the coolest part because they will argue that it's very important that this shirt looks a certain way because that's the perfect Jughead shirt and we can't change it. And then the crown has to, these are like arguments at work over how should Archie's hair look in the reboot, and people passionately arguing, and that's the coolest thing because it's not just a job for anybody, and certainly not the people up here. This is something we all love and love more and more every day. And I wish I could tell you something what Chip's going to do in the book, but it's going to just be the craziest Jughead stories ever. I think, just wait, it'll blow you away. That's a lot of blows away in one conversation, but that's, it works.
And it's going to be funny. Very funny.
And John, one thing you've said throughout these conversations about the new Riverdale books is being true to the essence of these characters. These are, we're getting the origin of Archie for the first time. We're getting to see Jughead in a different way, and he's not had his own book for a while. But how important is Jughead as a character to everything we do?
Well, there's Archie here, there's Jughead there, and they both complement each other like, hamburgers and cheese kind of. I don't know how else to put it. They belong together, the two of them. Jughead is so important. He's kind of the antithesis of Archie to a certain degree, and the two of them together is the essence of what the Archie comics are. That and of course Betty and Veronica. Those guys, that's really the core characters of what the books are. But we've tackled a lot of really kind of serious issues in Archie too. With, like I said, the death of Archie and the wedding of Kevin Keller and the creation of Kevin Keller by this genius right next to me. We've done a lot of stuff, but now we want to go kind of 180, and we just want to be funny and fun and entertain, and that's what these books are for. These books are for you guys to pick up and just laugh and enjoy and love the stories and love the art. And with both the Archie book and with the Jughead book, I'm positive you guys are going to embrace them the same way you embraced all the other stuff that we've done.
So look at some of the big covers. So in addition to Jughead #1, we also have another title launching later on next year by writer-artist Adam Hughes. And this is a sampling of his take on Betty and Veronica. And I don't know, to me Adam Hughes is probably the perfect creator to take a stab at doing this book. But John, you were talking just how important Jughead is, how important Archie is. I don't think there is Archie without Betty and Veronica.
Well, that's a love triangle right there. Archie, Betty, Veronica, Jughead, he's there too, and Reggie and all the gang, but Archie, Betty, and Veronica, that's it. And the relationships between the two girls are really what we're going to explore in Betty and Veronica. And again, it's going to be funny. And, how they fight over Archie and fight amongst themselves, but ultimately they're the best of friends. And, it's a complicated friendship in the best of ways. And I think it's going to be a real fun book for us to put out.
That's not the only new title we're launching. Life with Kevin, which, by writer-artist Dan Perrin, who's right here, is a relaunch of the character, but we find him in a different spot. He's not in high school, he's moved on. It's a little bit aged up. Dan, what's the high concept? What's life with Kevin?
Basically, it's Kevin Keller on his own, living in the city. He's older. He's out of college, so we get to see him sort of like in the real world, and basically in the world of getting your first job, your first apartment, trying to date, and then dealing with other things like friends of yours that seem to cling to you that you can't get rid of, with the last name of Lodge, and it's just like bringing Kevin into like the next level. The stories that we really weren't doing with the teenage Kevin, we can do with grown up Kevin. And then we've also got we're trying a little bit of a different art style with it. And we've got Jason Bone on inks, who's fantastic. He's got this like really cool style. So we're really lucky to get him on board. So it's a lot of fun.
And so Kevin will be digital, but we're also kind of brainstorming a print component for it. That'll be exciting once we get that rolling. What can you tease from the first issue, though?
Well, we have him getting his first apartment, which you see in some of these pages, and his family is helping him out. The family is still there.
The first apartment is fairly horrible.
It's really horrible. It's really horrible. But Kevin wants to be on his own. Like a lot of young people do. They want to get out on their own. And but in the story, there's not a lot of ties to Riverdale. We really want to make him like on his own. But the relationship with him and Veronica was so good, such an important part of his history, that it seems natural to kind of keep Veronica around because they have such a great chemistry together. So, he thinks he's got Veronica back in Riverdale, but not quite.
Yeah.
So.
We'll have more from this panel and more from the floor of Special Edition NYC in upcoming episodes. For now, let's check out the new releases of the week. Out tomorrow, Wednesday the 17th, Betty and Veronica continue their world travels in Betty and Veronica number 276. This issue is written by Michael Uslan, with pencils by Dan Parent, this cover by Dan Parent, and this variant by Andrew Peaboy. Mega Man reaches its milestone 50th issue with the fourth part of this summer's Worlds Unite crossover event. The issue features this cover by Patrick Spaziante, as well as variants by Ben Bates, Patrick Thomas Parnell, Irvin Rodriguez, Edwin Huang, and Roger Robinson with Adalia Robinson. The action continues in Mega Man Worlds Unite Battles number 1. This features 3 stories written by Ian Flynn and T-Rex, and drawn by Ben Bates, Jamal Peppers, and Brent McCarthy. It features this cover by Jamal Peppers, Phyllis Novin, and Ben Hunzucker, as well as this sketch variant, and this variant by Patrick Spaziante. And finally tomorrow, New Crusaders Dark Tomorrow. This is a digital one-shot available exclusively on Comixology that follows up on the events of New Crusaders Rise of the Heroes. And this Friday, the 19th, don't forget your digital exclusive of the week, Jughead vs. the World. Leave a comment down below and let us know what you'll be picking up in shops this week. Hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode, and head over to archiecomics.com and use the coupon code ARCHIE to get 25% off your order. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Jonathan, and I'll see you again next week, right here in lovely Riverdale, USA.